Well, good evening, Glue Troopers, and welcome back to the Tarbus. All right, today we got some building done. I did have a doctor's appointment to fix my eyeglasses, but and had to run a few errands, but not a big deal. So, what did we get done today? Well, we made some progress on the fleet side, and as the fates would have it, that's a 1966 fleet side. And I watch a channel called VinWiki, which is about like Wikipedia for VIN numbers of cars. It's a car channel, car people talking about cars. I'm sure a few guys have probably seen it. That's Ed Bolian's channel. And he's like a huge YouTube presence, 1.2 million subscribers. And anyway, I just happened to be watching one of their chats today. And the guy talked about his first ever vehicle was this old beat up 66 Chevy Fleet Side. So I was like, hey, I'm building a model of one of those right now. Of course, I'm trying to make it look nice, and his was a beater. But the way we talk about models and everything and the childhood memories and stuff is kind of the way he talks about that truck, because that was his childhood. And he said he built models of cars and everything. And so, you know, kind of a kindred spirit there. So I thought that was interesting. So the Fleet Side's making progress. Started rigging the Waddell Williams, peeled the tape on it. It's actually looking pretty good, but for some reason, on the right side of the fuselage, the right side of tail, and only there, the paint cracked. I don't know what happened, if it was some moisture on that side, or maybe something. I mean, I painted the whole model with the 2X flat, no issues. Then I covered it with the 2X gloss, same manufacturer and everything, no issues except on that one spot. Not a clue. But anyway, I thought about, well, yeah, I can rub it up, and say, wait a minute, I've seen a lot of airplanes that had cracks like that in the fabric. So you know what? Point in time, it's not that bad. Leave it alone. That's just like on the top of the truck, the Fleet Side. One spot on the top of the truck, and only one spot, the paint just doesn't seem to want to adhere. And that particular Revell truck, although I will tell you, the parts have fit like a glove. I'm very impressed with the quality of the kit. Had I probably just used a primer on it first instead of going straight to the plastic, I probably wouldn't have had any problems. But it was molded in white, and I was going to blue over white. If hey, you know, this way I won't have to paint the top, which I had to paint anyway. But anyway, it's all coming out. It took several coats. Somebody told me that when you use those Sharpies, like I had used on the GB, that the ink on them is so thin, it needs something to absorb into. Sometimes, even though it looks dry on plastic, it can't adhere, and that's probably why when I hit it with the clear coat, it gave it a liquid medium that dissolved it and just ran. But I have started rebuilding the GB. The stripping went adequately. I'm going to say the purple painty eater was a success. Not like, ooh, look, it's pristine. And it did actually chew off one wingtip that I'll have to putty in. But overall, not disappointed. And somebody had told me they're gonna send me, I think it was a Diorama wings one, which comes apparently with all of the masks and everything. So we'll see how that goes. But I'll still try and make this one look parody on GB. Well, I already built one, so this will be GB2 Phase 2. I also got some progress made with kit and car, which are right here. I've got some paper mache here and the coffee grounds and everything, and I'm going to have to give that a couple of days to really dry out properly. But it's all kind of coming together. I was playing with some various ideas, ways I might pose them, you know, recycling some of the props from the Exodus video and everything, and all that kind of stuff. Having a lot of fun with it. Of course, I'm at that stage where with rigging the Waddell Williams and waiting for paint to harden, you wind up not a lot to do. So that little snap tight F18 that Jeff sent me, I went ahead and put that together, and I thought about going ahead and painting it, but I just got sidetracked with other things. But Hasagawa, everything fit. The only problem I had with it was one of the little intakes was a little difficult, but they just had a little thing that needed scraped off of it and popped right in. Pretty good scale, 1 to 160, looks good. The instructions are actually printed on the inside of the box. That was that, and got my fine scale modeler today, and I was looking at, first thing I always go to is the reader gallery. More than anything else, I'm interested to see what people are building, and it's pretty impressive stuff as always, like the Trek Works dry dock. But it was this Galaxy, since I'm working on, I'm not this guy did this just beautiful Ford Galaxy, just blemish free. I'm like, man, that's I always joke, cars are easy. No, they're not. Cars are hard to build like anything else. So anyway, a couple of things showed up in the mail today, so let's do a wee little unboxing here. As is usually the case here, I have slit the boxes on, but I have not looked in them. First thing that showed up is this tube from Mr. I hope I'm saying this right, Mr. Sheffield in Azle, Texas. Okay, and let's see what we got here. Gravity is still operational here in Florida. Max, look what I found in my attic from 1993. We were just talking about the GB. Swear to God, I did not open this in advance. Oh, the great styrene river. Oh man, that's something else. It's Zenith Books, the 1993 fall catalog. Wow, that, the more I look at that pinstripe, I realize I don't think there's a way you can accurately scale it down, because in real life it's only about that thick. Might be better just to leave it off, not worry about it. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate that. That's cool. I'll put that right here with the magazines and stuff. I'm going to probably reference that later. Now the next was a box that was kind of heavy, so let's open it up. Yeah, ooh, this has a nice typed letter and everything. Okay, I just put you there. Stay. Don't slide, stay. Okay. Max, just thought I'd slow the river plastic Vic. Though the reading material is not current or new, it should provide something else to read while deadheading in the future. Air racing in the 30s, info, Minnesotan Charles Speed Holman. I have heard of Speed Holman. Was a pilot during those years. There's a book out about him some time ago. There now is a downtown airport named Holman Field, not for the big birds. You may try donating models to your local hobby shop to see if they're interested in displaying them from the Sealander Showcase. Our Hurricane Hobbies does have a few on display, but they're kind of tight for space, so they're kind of like, no one really can't see them. But that's possibility. Let's see. Once had several Star Wars NPC build-ups that had to go. I spoke to the manager of the local restaurant if he'd hang them, and the kid showed interest. He was welcome to let him have one. He was happy, and needless to say, they were gone in a weekend. My side note, tangent, my brother used to hang his models in my dad's hardware store, and every time I went in there, there would be fewer and fewer and fewer until I think his Corsair was the last one. Same thing, kids, I don't want that. But that's a fitting thing to do. Enjoy the videos, but get frustrated at all the ums and dahs that are so. I bet your English teacher is groaning. Oh, you didn't go to the public school I went to. Trust me. That was not intentional. You see, you get a lot of ums and ahs and dahs when it's completely unscripted like this. If you listen to the WinMac video are the ones, they're all scripted and rehearsed and read, so all that's cut out. And what it is my brain trying to process the next thought, fearing dead air, I suppose. But it's funny, I was actually watching one of the videos yesterday or the day before, and I was thinking, man, I'm doing a lot of ums and ahs. This has to do with not getting any thoughts straight in your brain before you sit down. When I do have stuff to talk about, it tends to be a lot less of that, but point taken. I belong to the local model club, has been in existence since 1966. Hoping to get back to meetings before fall. Thank you, Jeff. Different Jeff. This is Mr. Fry. I hope it's Fries or Fries. I'm going to say Fries. And this is in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. All right, Jeff, thank you very much. And let's see what we have here. Final Hours, Johann Steinhoff. Mackie Steinhoff was considered the best looking man in the Luftwaffe until the very end of the war. His Messerschmitt 262 crashed on takeoff and he was horribly burned. He survived, but was disfigured for the rest of his life, as you can see in the picture on, well, you can look it up on Google. Anyway, maybe I'll stick a picture up here. But he was active in the post-war German Luftwaffe, trying to help get them to, to build their post-war Air Force. It was very influential in NATO. And I would add also that Steinhoff, I believe, is the one that when the Germans had the F-104s, they had a really high accident rate, probably because they had been conned into using the bloody things for ground support. Yes, let's take a Mach 2 point defense interceptor and use it for ground support. What could go wrong? And he realized that training was the problem. So once they beefed up the training, accident rate went down. Messerschmitt Bf 109, a subject that never gets old. Very interesting airplane. Aces Full, a Century book. Okay, Airblades. Got a lot of the paint schemes and everything. It'd be a good guide for building. Beautiful. And let's see. Airfix, celebrating 50 years of the greatest plastic kits. And even though I already did the Airfix video, I wanted to get a copy of this book because I'm sure it fills in a few of the blanks that I didn't have. Because Airfix has just an incredible story, and it's just the history of the company. There's several books have been written on Airfix, and rightfully so. And okay, we have more boxes within the boxes. Let's see what's here. Okie dokie. I guess better than ums and ahs. Oh, these are like, okay, these are display cases. And there's two of them. These things aren't not cheap either. It's beautiful. Look at this. Just happen to have kitten car sitting right here. Beauty, eh? I have to take a picture of that. And let's see if this is another one. This box is the same dimension. And it is. That's wonderful. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Wow, that's great. With all these trucks and cars and everything coming on, I certainly won't have any trouble for finding occupants for them. So tomorrow morning, day after tomorrow, I'm going to be gone for a few days. We have to go to a wedding of a friend, so I'll be out of the loop. But tomorrow I will be putting out some content, good Lord willing, and the river doesn't rise. What I want to do tomorrow morning is another one in the Air Race series. And the tentative plan right now is tomorrow's will probably be on one of the most famous pilots, Jimmy Doolittle. And there are a couple of pilots I want to profile. Doolittle's definitely one of them. And I'll probably also do one on Roscoe Turner, maybe Doug Davis and Frank Hawks, Hazlip, and maybe Pancho Barnes, or Poncho Barnes, however you say it. But one thing I was noticing, I was talking with John Kidd over at Scale Model Garage about this, is that I've noticed that in the auto racing circuit and the air racing circuit, there are a couple of people that seem to be almost direct comparisons to one another, sort of counterparts. Jimmy Doolittle's counterpart's probably Tazio Nuvolari, and I would say that Roscoe Turner's counterpart is probably Leon Duray, and they're really kind of interesting guys. Now, I'm going to do the profile separately. Also, the few aircraft I want to cover, I want to do the Waddell Williams, I want to do the, well, I've already done the Traveler and the GB, but I'll probably cover a couple more of the airplanes, and that'll sort of put the wrap on that. I'm going to end it probably with the post-war racing and what happened. And the one airplane I'll cover is a highly modified P-51C called Beguine, named in honor of Begin the Beguine. And that's a story in its own right. And maybe touch on modern air racing a little bit. But when I'm done with all the air racing series, I'm probably going to do a personality profile between a couple of the comparable people from air racing and auto racing, like Doolittle, Nuvolari, Turner, and Duray, and maybe one or two others, because you find out that every field of endeavor sort of has its person that fits a certain position or mold, and you realize this mold tends to repeat itself through other endeavors. And I'm sure there are similar people in boat racing and horse racing and everything else. But anyway, that's long-term stuff. So hopefully tomorrow morning I'll be talking about Jimmy Doolittle. His life is got to be one of the most fascinating people in history. But I'm going to, of course, streamline it down to a short format. And of course, there's a gazillion history videos on him. But that's pretty much it. I have everything pretty much drawing. I did take the figurine from Immense Miniatures. That's Mario Andretti, and my wife, as you know, did the Hasselhoff hair on it. So I've got it puttied up and glued together, and it's going to be painted tomorrow. Hopefully, might even be able to finish the truck, and we'll see how it goes with the diorama. Well, guys, once again, thanks for everything. And gentlemen, I want to thank you for the wonderful gifts, and I will see everybody tomorrow. You guys have a great evening, and model on.